And this is something, man, that people don't even pay attention. Although Straight Outta Compton was not a documentary, it was a biopic, okay, and it was based on real shit, okay. A biopic, they have what they call, excuse me,
Creative.
creative license, okay. A documentary has to be factual, okay, pretty much factual, as good as possibly can, as good as it can possibly be, based on the fact that some people may not be here to the actual story. But a biopic is they have a creative license, and the one thing that was actually very very true, and is that Eazy had never intended on being a rapper. That was never his thing, never ever ever ever. He ain't never been in the room trying to rap, do no cipher or no shit like that. Easy was around even after dark and do those. He never got on the microphone and did no shit. That was not his thing. He was a very shy person, very shy dude. Dre shy dude, Yella shy dude. The only person that really ever really had any really fire about him was Yella. I mean, also was the Cube. And Yella and Dre fired up when they got on stage or they got around some girls. But for the most part, man, if they was here right now, you never know they was here. That's just their personality. They were introverted until they got to the studio, okay, or got on stage and they flare up like a son of a gun. Cube was always been had an outgoing personality, and Eazy was probably more introverted than Dre, because he just was a quiet dude, and people that know him would verify that. Yeah, the persona that he developed with the Eazy E and the straight jackets, that was all part of his act, man. And that's something I'll never understand about hip hop. Maybe because hip hop is built on the premise that keeping it real, keeping it 100. So people don't try to vet the artists to see if they really, 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 really who they say they are, or they just assume because you say you are on the record, that's who you are in real life. But yeah, Eazy, he was in the streets for a minute, okay, but he also realized real fast this ain't for me, okay. But when he created the character Eazy E with the patch on his eye and the straight jacket and all the guns and stuff, that was a part of the act, man. And it worked for a while. It worked for him. Nope. Think about this. A 6 foot guy, 200 pounds, 180 pounds, it wouldn't have felt the same. By him being the shorter dude, little stocky dude, and him like he's like a pit bull in front of a bunch of Doberman pinchers. Okay, he's the only pit bull in front of all these Doberman pinchers, and that's what made it work. He's the shortest one in the group, but he's talking the most shit. But the people that made him that talked the most, wrote the shit was one pit bull, one Doberman over here, and the other one made the beats. And together, the three of them gave him that persona. And when they left, it wasn't the same no more. It wasn't the same no more. It was still okay, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah. Even Eazy's solo albums after Dre left, like the motherfucking G's album. I mean, it was cool, but the beats, when you're comparing it to Dre, it's hard.
It's a big difference, man. And that was something I always say. And if you think about this, I'm gonna say this again. I might have said it before. This is some record business 101. Usually, in the back of the day, when there was a group, somebody always focused on the leader of the group. Think about it, from Beyonce down to Michael Jackson and everybody in between. As soon as they found out who the star of the group was, they snatched him out, gave him a solo career. Well, the mistake that was made with the Ruthless Camp, Eazy he was on the label and he was the front man, but he wasn't the actual physical creator of that whole sound. Cube wrote the words, Dre wrote the lyrics. So it made for a combination that once that any part of that combination was no longer viable, it just didn't feel the same no more. Okay, that's simple as that. When they people, Beyonce was produced by different people. So was Michael, mostly Quincy Jones, but that was those were sound marriages that had been proven to be, they were proven to be fantastic. There was nobody at that time who was Eazy going to go to when the gangster funk was created here on the West Coast. there was nobody for him to go to on the West Coast, especially to give him that same kind of sound. He could have went to Quick, but it was a different sound. Okay. I don't think Warren G was developed yet to give it to him. So Dre was the only. Battle Cat was still working on his thing, so it wasn't there wasn't a Dre replacement. There's a few of them now. I'm not gonna say replacement or Dre knockoff that could have gave him what he wanted, the way Dre did. So it's just that you have to understand that certain things, certain ingredients, you cannot replace.
Yeah, man. Especially when Dre's one of the best. Let's move on. Any Tone Loc stories?
Not a whole lot. Tone Loc came through here from time to time, man, because everybody that was on Delicious Vinyl hung at my house at some point in time. Tone Loc, Body and Soul, Def Jeff, Young MC, all of them came through here. They didn't really. I mean, they were already. They would come through and hang out and be gone. Okay, they blew up so fast. Except for Body and Soul, they blew up so fast that they may have came here maybe I don't know a couple of weeks before their record blew up, or came by to pick up Rose and them on the way to another studio. But no Tone Loc stories.
Okay, for me, Delicious Vinyl, the logo is so iconic. Some of the artists that came out of it were iconic. Explain Delicious Vinyl's involvement in early hip hop.
Delicious Vinyl, man, gave a lot of people that started. Tone Loc being one, Young MC, Def Jeff, people I just mentioned. I think did they have Coolio? Was it Coolio? No, it wasn't Coolio. They had a real up tempo dance vibe about them. They were right there on Santa Monica, not far from Michel'le. They had been across the street from Michel'le, upstairs. And I never really dealt with them that much. I didn't meet I think Matt until about a year before Corona jumped off. We was all at delicious pizza on Hollywood, Sunset, and I was my first time. No. I went to the one on Adams. They had one on Adams also. They had a hip hop event over there, and I met Adam. I think it was Adam, one of the guys' name. I met him for the first time. We got a picture together, and he knew about me. I knew about him, but we never really crossed paths because they were doing their thing. And I know Atron worked with them for quite some time doing something. I forgot who was over there, but I don't hold me to them. Yeah, they were very instrumental at that time, but they were doing that feel good rap. And but I'll never forget. I think I've told this story once, and I'm gonna tell it again today. When they got to Body and Soul, got I think Dre and Def Jeff did some tracks for D Barnes and Rose. And right here in my studio, I discovered somebody else. God damn it! Right here in my studio, and they took him to Delicious Vinyl, got him a deal, and their promo picture, they were like the West Coast Salt and Pepper with the geometric haircuts and shit. The Gumby haircuts and the short dresses. Rose was Rose was short, but she's built thick, and D was the personality, and they called themselves Body and Soul. And they went to New York, hung out with Queen Latifah and Chuck D and some more folks, and they came back. They was on some militant shit, and they didn't want to wear that geometric hairstyle. They wanted to wear their natural hair, and they wore some Afrocentric garb on the video. He never saw it again. Yeah, never saw it again. Never came out.
Michel'le Man Ace was apparently on Delicious Vinyl also. D-Cause says, did Candyman record there? Meaning, I think he means in your place.
I got Candyman's 24-track master right now.
You discovered another person, Lonzo.
Man, I can't say I discovered Candyman. Candyman recorded in my studio. Candyman and Fela Al, who was Johnny J and Fela Al was all Johnny J, Fela Al, and Candyman was all tight. My studio was the only one around at that time. There may have been other studios, but I was hip hop friendly. Put it that way. I was hip hop friendly. So Johnny J, Fela Al had the money, Johnny J had the talent, and Candyman had the raps. And they came to my studio and did a lot of work. And for some reason, I was going through some tapes the other day. A few years ago, and I ran across Knocking Boots, the master.
Get the fuck out of here.
I got the master, and I told Phil Al, told Candyman. I talked to Candyman all the time. Well, I ain't talked to him lately, but I told him I got the master to Knocking Boots. Knocking Boots, and I'm your puppet.
From High C. Okay, so I'm ignorant to this part of the law. How does that?
I think Candyman did a version of that too. I'm Not Your Puppet.
Yeah. The one that High C. I'm Not Your Puppet, with Tony A did the beat, or Tony A did the yeah.
I think Candyman did his own version of that too. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna look for. I'll look it up. But yeah, Doc, how does what work?
Yeah, how does it work? Because I'm ignorant to this part of the law. So you have the master to a very popular song, a song that, let's say, next week could be featured in a movie and just overnight gets back, climbs the charts again. How does that work when you have the master? If you wanted to do anything with that, do you have to get permission, or is it yours?
It don't mean shit if I ain't got the copyright.
Gotcha. Okay.
It don't. I have the physical tape. That don't mean shit. I don't own it. Okay. I just have it. They left it here. I left shit. They left a bunch of shit here.
Okay. Gotcha. So it's just the original tape. Okay.
It's the original tape. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not the masters. It's the master tape.
It's the master tape. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. That's where I got confused. Gotcha. Okay. Cool. You did a show with Fila Al recently, and you guys both discussed Johnny J. Talk to us a little bit about Johnny J and Fila Al. He was the Fila Fresh crew, right?
No. Fila Fresh crew, Dr. Rock.
Gotcha. Okay.
What was Fila Al's record name? Damn it.
I'll look it up. Keep going.
I can't think of it offhand, but Johnny J, Yo-Yo, and somebody else all went to Washington, which is on the other side of the street. If you cross Vermont, you go to Washington over here. Where I live at. Okay. I live in Locke High School area. But if you cross Vermont, you went to Washington. And Fila Al and Johnny J had a relationship, and Fila Al had the money. I had the studio. They come over here and record. And I didn't know how dope Johnny was until after he left. He made some stuff here. He made a lot of beats here, but when he left here, he was one of the few people that if Ruthless had picked him up, could have probably filled in for Dre, because he had those kind of beats. Okay, he bought one of my drum machines that Dre used, my SP1200, SP1200. Yeah, he bought my SP1200 and a few other things. Fila Al. When I wanted to upgrade my studio, Fila Al bought all my shit. Anything I had in my studio, my 12-track, Fila Al bought it. Drum machine, Fila Al bought the keyboards, whatever. And we still cool to this day. But he invested in Johnny J. Fila Al ain't no producer. Fila Al is like Lonzo. He's not really a producer, but he sees talent and he invests in the talent some way, form, and fashion. Okay, he will invest in the talent some way, form, and fashion. And that's his claim to fame. I think they all went to Washington together, if I'm mistaken. I know Johnny went to Washington along with Yo-Yo, but I'm not sure. I think Fila might have went to Washington too, because we used to all hang out. Fila had a limo. All this dude was Fila Al was a motherfucker. He had a limousine. He had a limo. One time he gave me some money. He paid me the money that he owed me, but he had to go through all this rotten money. Okay, money got wet or something. It got rotten, literally. Okay, so he gave me a handful of rotten money, and I said, "What you gonna do with this?" "Oh man, I'm gonna throw it away." I said, "Give it to me." And what he didn't know is, if you take rotten money, as long as you got half the serial numbers on there, you can get credit for it, and that's what I did.
Yeah, I know rotten money even existed, man. Shit.
But he kept it. He had it in a bag, and it got wet, and didn't pay attention to it for a minute, and it got wet, and some of the serial numbers got rotten and came off. And long as you can put most of the shit together, you can get exchange at the bank.
Nice. I guess I just have never been wealthy enough to have bags of money laying around that I forgot about.
Years, both dollars. Both dollars.